Well, joining us now direct from Phoenix, Arizona is Mr. Greg Lambrecht. Greg, of course, is the CEO of Singlepoint Incorporated. SING is their stock symbol. Welcome back to the show, Greg.
Hey Don, great to be here, and man, we've got some really exciting news from our subsidiary Direct Solar of America, and I'm here with the CEO Pablo Diaz, and he's going to tell you a little bit about the commercial deals that we've been working on and our pipeline, and of course the one that we've already announced that we closed. So Pablo, welcome to the show, and tell us a little bit about the big commercial deal we closed and some of the deals that we have in the pipeline.
Absolutely, and thank you. So it's an exciting project. It's for a company called AET. They do commercial retail space.
Yep.
One of the biggest expenses that a commercial, let's say, building like this has is the electrical costs, right?
Yeah.
They have to feed all electricity to all these offices. So we're building about a 750 kilowatt system. That means it's a big system.
Yeah.
They're building, and we're building carport structures in their parking areas, so they get the benefit of covered parking for their customers' vehicles, and they get the energy solar that's being produced from our solar system. One really interesting fact here in this scenario, the capital that we structured for them, they're coming out of pocket, zero net investment, $0 to get all of this infrastructure built for them. It's through a finance document called PPA, Power Purchase Agreement. So they're just going to be purchasing cheaper electricity from the solar system we create for them.
Well, Pablo, that is incredible. Now, it's been about a year since you joined forces with Singlepoint. It's been a pretty good ride, hasn't it?
It has. It's, the public space is definitely different than the private space, but I love it for all of its benefits that it brings to us and our growth trajectory that we've been on.
Well, Greg, obviously you've been very happy with the revenues generated by Direct Solar, and you're expecting that to continue, I would imagine.
Well, yeah, and I'm glad you asked because, in 2018, we did 1.5 million in revenue, and of course, last year, 2019, we did 3.5. We're projecting to do 10 million in revenue in 2020, even with this pandemic and everything else that's going on. But with some of the deals that Direct Solar of America and Pablo are bringing to the table, whether it's funding, whether it's commercial, whether it's residential, some of the acquisitions that we're talking to, I would not be surprised if we exceed our expectations of doing 10 million in revenue. And as we've talked about before with our shareholders, we think that's the magic number as far as revenues that we need to get to, 10 million, to where we can take this company up to the NASDAQ and get the necessary funding and credibility to hopefully take this to a $100 million company. So yeah, we're really excited about solar. Solar has not dropped off during this kind of turbulent time that we've been in so far. So it's a great business to be in, a great place to be in.
Pablo, Greg's throwing around some pretty big numbers, $10 million, $100 million. Feeling any pressure?
Well, it's getting hotter in here. I don't know. I think no, we're good. It's done. It's actually very, very sustainable growth that we've been looking at for a while. All of this has been our calculated moves. None of this is by accident. We saw a need in the space. We're filling it. Direct Solar Capital, one of the subsidiaries of Direct Solar of America, we're structuring capital for commercial solar contractors nationwide, developing some great business relationships. I don't know if maybe I've been sworn to secrecy. We'll talk about that later, I think. But our footprint is going to expand at a rapid pace, and would love to share that information for you. Maybe on the next show.
Yeah, and I think one of the things in throwing out a big number, hopefully that this company can be a big company, whether that's 20 million, 50 million, 100 million. I think one of our strategies that can get us there fast is our acquisition strategy. There's a lot of companies out there that, Pablo's been in the solar business for 10 years, and part of their strength and part of their business-to-business operations is they have access to 50, 75 companies, and a lot of them are interested in being acquired by a public company. So it's not unrealistic that we could acquire 3 or 4 companies this year, and that's why I'm saying the revenue growth could exceed and go so fast is through acquisitions, which, as a public company, that's one of the main reasons that you are public, so you can use your equity and the power of stock to acquire companies for revenues and profits.
Once again, Singlepoint Incorporated, SING is their stock symbol. Pablo, Greg, great update. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and go sing.
Go sing.